At Travel Town, you can find all different types of engines, passenger cars, freight cars, and cabooses. Some of these engines date back to the late 1800s. In this video, we are going to learn about what a track gauge is. What is track gauge? The most common type of railroad track consists of two parallel lines of heavy steel rails fastened with spikes to wood ties placed in a bed of rock or ballast. The distance between the rails is called the gauge of the railroad. The standard gauge of U.S. railroads is 4 feet 8.5 inches, though a few railroads in remote or mountainous areas not requiring much traffic have been built with a narrow gauge of 3 feet or 3.5 feet. The narrow width of this gauge dictates the reduced scale of the locomotive and the freight cars, directly affecting the strength or tractive force of the locomotive and limits the size and total load of freight and number of passengers on the rolling stock. Narrow gauge equipment could readily journey into terrain deemed too difficult for larger scale equipment by traveling with less weight and having the ability to make tighter curves. When the present gauge became accepted as standard, the broad gauge lines built with 5 and 6 feet gauges reduced the width of their tracks, making it possible for the cars and engines of any railroad to run on the tracks of all other railroads. A uniform railroad gauge made it possible for a person to travel over several railroads without changing cars. When the gauges were different, freight or passengers had to be transferred from one car to another at every point where there was a change of gauge. A uniform gauge saved the railroad's time and expense. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please be sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the Travel Town Series YouTube channel. If you want to see more videos, check out the playlist provided on the end slate. Thank you so much for watching. All aboard!